What's up, guys? It's Gaz. Welcome to the Warframe video. So today we're going over the Velox, or the Velox. I think I'm going to call it the Velox because I like that more, which is Protea's signature pistol, which was released in Deadlock Protocol with Protea, of course. Now, I know we don't have a Protea video on the channel yet. I'm still holding out for some buffs on her, hopefully later this week. So, yeah, before we get into that, though, of course, check out the Twitch channel. Got to plug that every video. You know how it is around here. Twitch.tv/Gaz_TTV. Stream mostly Warframe, but we're going to try to do some more Destiny streaming in the near future just to get ready for that new DLC on the Ice Planet with the new Darkness subclasses. Alright, so let's go over the Velox here. Now, this thing is basically a generic full auto pistol. Just straight up, that's what it is. It's mostly focused on status, but it also has like okay critical chance with a bad critical multiplier. And there's a little gimmick this thing has with Protea where when you're firing it while using the Protea Warframe, since this is her signature weapon, it has like a little bonus where every 5 shots you shoot, 2 of those bullets, I think it's like the 3rd and the 5th bullet out of every 5, does not consume ammo, so you get like extra bullets in the magazine basically with Protea. It doesn't consume ammo while you're firing it. With other frames, it has another mini gimmick where it will actually reload 50% faster when it has an empty magazine, and has a 2.6 reload when it's not an empty magazine. So it's a mostly status focused weapon with mostly slash weighting, 24 total damage, 14% crit chance, 1.8 multiplier, really high fire rate at 15, and a 62 magazine. No innate punch through or anything like that. So it's pretty much like a slash status focused weapon. You see right here, that's how it fires. We get the magazine entirely empty. Got a pretty quick reload. When you reload it before that, a very slow reload. So what I ended up doing with this thing is I actually built it. I have a DPS build, and I also have a condition overload build. The DPS build is pretty much just like a viral and heat. I was actually running heat. You can do viral electric or viral heat. I actually was preferring viral heat, definitely, just to get those heat procs or reduce any enemy armor. But yeah, basically the prime crit mods, lethal torrent, hornet strike, barrel diffusion, the standard stuff on every like weapon that has okay crit chance, and then we've got frostbite, pistol, pestilence, and scorch to give us viral and heat. And I'm not really going to bother with the Exilus slot on here, but I would, if I were to put an Exilus mod here, I'd put eject magazine to reload the weapon while holster. That's actually on the condition overload build. That's a condition overload build right there. I'll show you it in a second. But let's just quickly show how the DPS build does against these. We'll start level 50. It can kill level 175s, but I mean, you aren't going to really be using this against level 175s as your primary damage source. We're also going to be using on Protea just for the extra ammo. So you can quickly mow through these guys really easily with the crit and the viral and heat. So it doesn't take too many shots to kill them. See how many slash procs together. See a good amount of slash procs. I mean, it's a level 50 though. It's not like you're going to watch a level 50 bleed out to slash procs from a pistol. You're just going to pretty much just one-shot them. Or rather, like one-tap them. I mean, I don't even know what to call that. It's definitely not a one-shot. It's more of like a 1 second. You know, like you kill them in like less than half a second. So do it level 100 now. We use our shield grenades and Protea just to stay alive. Alright, so here's where like the damage starts falling off a little bit. She is loaded up with tons of procs. That's why this thing's actually a pretty nice CO procer. I don't think it's going to ever like surpass the Kuva Nuke or anything like that. And especially as a DPS weapon, this thing does get surpassed by some of like the prime weapons. Like the Aximati Prime will probably just surpass this thing in upfront damage easily. But, you know, this thing has nice sound effects, has really high fire rate. I do think that the twin Kakadas are better, but, you know, maybe this thing is actually not too bad to farm. It does require you to do the Deadlock Protocol quest and farm the Granum Void, but the blueprint comes from the market, and the Granum Void parts are actually relatively high drop rate compared to, like, the Protea systems and stuff. So we'll do 175 here, and I'll show the CO proccing build. Let's see if Protea can survive against these 175s. Alright, so she will probably die to... No, not enough bleeder procs on her. So yeah, as I said, we are actually using Protea, so we have additional ammo in the magazine that we normally wouldn't have. It's a little bit hard to showcase it working exactly because this thing has very high fire rate. Let's see, there's 15 bullets going to kill that guy. Nope. Yeah, like I said, I would not recommend this as a primary damage source, but I do overall like this weapon. Feels like a submachine gun, kind of, with the sound effects. But, you know, I would probably use the Kuva Nuke like 10 times over before I even consider this thing. I'm not saying I won't use this in the future, but it's not going to be like a mainstay weapon. It does have a decent CO build though, so maybe a corrosive build would be better against these guys, but that's the viral heat build. We can quickly change it to corrosive just to see how it would go. I think it actually would do a little bit better, but we'll try it out. So all you have to do to make a corrosive build is switch out frostbite for jolt, and there you go. Now it's corrosive and heat. I'm not going to kill all of them, I'm just going to show a couple of them dying. Yeah. Pretty similar, honestly. Where's my shield nades? Protea is a little bit of a yikes sometimes, just because you have to walk over her shield nades to actually get the shield regeneration from them. But, you know, like I said, I'm holding out for some buffs. Okay. The corrosive and the viral build perform relatively well. Actually, I'd say that the corrosive build is much worse against those bombards, because they're mostly armor, and the slash procs from the viral heat combination, the viral heat slash combination actually is better against the bombard. Alright, so let's do CO here. I'm going to use the CO procer, and I'm going to use my rivened up Jack Cuissard. So here's the build for the Conditioner Overload. So we're using Seeker for punch through, so we can hit multiple enemies at a time with our bullets. No Hornet Strike on the build, because we're not using this for damage, we're using this for procs. So we can get Impact Puncture, Slash, Heat, and Viral. Viral is the highest weighted, with second place being Heat. We're also using Eject Magazine, so we fire off the gun, and so we don't really need to bother with the long reload time. We're actually just, while we're attacking with our melee, it's reloading the pistol. And I decided to use Augur Seeker for longer status duration, although this is not necessary. But the nice thing about Augur Seeker is if you're trying to use if you're doing a really long endurance run or something like that, and you're trying to focus on shield gating, I'm not running Brief Respite or something like that, this will let you actually get some shields just by casting abilities. As you see here, additional status duration, so your viral procs last longer, your heat procs last longer, etc., etc. And percentage of the ability, energy use on abilities is converted to shields. I have other Augur mods in my Protea build, so it's actually a 3x multiplier. It's usually like around 40%. So there's that, and I'm going to show the Jack Cuissard real quick. This is not important, but just Condition Overload. Every proc on the enemy gives you more damage, and we've got some crazy stuff going on here. Technically could take off Blood Rush for Sacrificial Steel, just since we're not going to be, they're going to die in like 1 or 2 hits. So yeah, let's just quickly show that here. I'm going to put on Invincibility just so I don't have to bother. Use it anyway. Alright, so they're all procced up. So like, let's see how many procs she had. Really a lot, actually. And it was pretty much an entire viral, fully stacked up instantly. So, decent CO procer. Not have to worry about that reload speed at all. That will be the same situation if you are running on the, if you're running Eject Magazine on the DPS build, because I didn't put enough forma on to fit it on there, but it definitely is something you could do if you really like this weapon. I don't have a Riven for it. No one really offered me a Riven for it, and I'm not looking to buy one because DE and their infinite wisdom at the balance department have decided that for every new weapon going forward will most likely have a 0.5 disposition in Rivens, which means as low as they can go. They don't want to actually think through what number they should have immediately. They're just going to make them as weak as possible, because figuring out how weak they're strong or weak they're supposed to be is for the future, and that's for future me to decide. That's pretty much what they're thinking. So I'm a little bit annoyed that they decided to go that lazy route of balance, but you know, what can we do about it? We can't do anything about it. Let's do a Kuva Flood here, live gameplay. And yeah, so before we hop in there, actually, I want to compare this thing to some other crit or to some other full auto secondaries. So like I said, the Aximati Prime, a pretty new one, and let's see the stats right here. So we've got a little bit lower status chance and a little bit lower total damage, but we've got a lot more critical chance, over double, or actually a little bit pretty close to double the crit multiplier, and a little bit slower fire rate. So the Aximati Prime, I'd say, are vastly superior. They also have half the reload time, so definitely try those out. They have decent ribbons as well. Some other ones that you could consider: Pyrana Prime is a shotgun pistol, so it's a little bit different, but this thing actually can kill most like mid-tier enemies in one shot very easily, and it's fully automatic. Pretty good stuff there. Twin Comac takes a lot of forma commitment, and it's annoying to get, but look at that SAS chance, 69% right off the bat. It will scale down as you fire it, but that's still pretty good. Get a lot of procs on that thing. The Kuva new core, just insanely good. The best secondary in the game, in my opinion. And as you can see right here, over double the amount of status chance. This thing is amazing. It changes enemies. It's got a 5x multiplier, 7% crit chance. So you don't see crits too often, but you can definitely make that happen. And this is not showing the Kuva bonus. This actually has more base damage when you include the Kuva elemental damage bonus there. So that's a couple right there that are just better than this thing. Kuva Twin Stubba, honestly, just better all around, it seems. Besides, like, maybe a little bit lower fire rate. Wow. Okay, so this is just a worse version of the Kuva Double Stubba. So, yikes. Like I said, I still like it because I like the sound effects and stuff, but you could definitely do much better. Let's go back to the viral build too before we hop into that mission. So yeah, if this thing had like really good ribbons off the bat, at least I'd get some people like wanting to like clamor to get it right away. But that's not the case. This thing has weak ribbons off the bat. It's pretty much nothing special, and the gimmick of it having more ammo with Protea really is hardly even noticeable. So, is not looking too good. But hey, you know what? Not everything can be top tier. And maybe they tried at least. All right, here's the part. Here's where we get the parts, by the way. So the parts for this come from the Granum Void. Low level, it's on a 22% drop rate for the barrel on rotation C. So you get to kill maximum amount of enemies, like it's like 100, I think, for multiple people. And then for the middle tier Granum Void, it's rotation C. So you also get a bunch of kills there as well. And then the blueprint comes to the market. So when you look at it like that, it actually is a little bit annoying to farm. So maybe don't even bother. Just if you are someone that's gotten into Kuva lich hunting, like you could do so much better than this. But a lot of people absolutely despise Kuva lich hunting, so these weapons are great for someone that does not want to ever touch Kuva liches. So pretty much every weapon that they've released recently, like the Stulta, pretty good. I haven't done a video on that one yet, but expect that one later in the week. That one's pretty good. I'd say that's actually like on the tier of a lot of the Kuva weapons, but that one also has like a little bit of an annoying mechanic of having to like use 20 bullets per super shot. This thing, like after I just compared it to the Kuva Twin Stubba right there, it's just worse. There's no real redeeming quality. If you can think of a redeeming quality this thing has over the Kuva Twin Stubba besides being easier to farm, let me know in the comments, because I can't think of one. I really can't. So, yikes to that. But then again, those weapons are meant to be late game weapons, some of the best weapons in the game. So maybe it's a good thing that it's not as good as those other ones. So, yeah. So here we go. We have a viral and heat build on these level like 60, 80. That's a level 97 MOA. Okay. Get that reload at the fully emptied magazine. And some of the Grenier, I think, are like level like 80-ish as well. Oh, crap. So yeah, about Protea. So since I've been saying I'm waiting on some buffs for her, here's some of my complaints about Protea. At really high levels, she is not going to be as good as people probably think she's going to be, because her shield getting grenade, you have to pick it up off the floor, and then it like gives you shield regen while it's active, but at high levels your shield gets one shot. So you're going to need to immediately cast another ability once your shield grenade breaks off to get your shield back again. And this ability has a long casting time, even with natural talent and speed drift on the build. And also, to get the shield part of the grenade, you have to hold the button down. And you also have to walk over it. So that's like 3 things that are all making it really annoying to get your shield back with this ability. So at really high levels, you might be able to make it work if like you're like using rolling guard and stuff, which you probably should be, especially if you're playing Protea at high levels. But I'm just thinking, like, why would I use Protea? She is just a worse version of Wisp, and I mean Wisp has like constant CC. Another thing that's a problem with Protea, she doesn't have any constant CC at high levels. Wisp ability, the electric motes, the shock motes, those are like top tier. They give you a condition overload proc. They shock the enemies no matter, like, they will shock a level 3000 enemy, and also give you additional damage against them. And that shocking mote from Wisp also goes to her companions. Like my vampire cat would be shocking the enemies. My vampire cat becomes so much more tanky because of the Wisp in the squad. And like that's just one part of her abilities. Protea, pretty much her only CC is her fire turret, if it's the enemies in the cone hasn't already killed you, and her slash grenades, which have a very limited area of effect. So that's two abilities I was going over on Protea that aren't very good, but there's a lot more stuff I have problems with. So that's what I'm hoping. Like, hopefully they're taking feedback and stuff and willing to change her. Now I know it's not like everything is about super high level enemies, and she is fine like sortie levels. Like I did the entire sortie today, didn't die once on Protea. But you know, I think when they release these brand new characters, they should be extremely exciting and something that people actually want to consider buying. The only reason people would consider buying Protea right now is because she's a pain in the butt to farm. That's literally it. When Wisp came out, it was like, wow, this frame is amazing. You might want to actually buy her because she comes from a really late game mission and she's really good. Like a top tier option. And if you look at a lot of the other recent frames that came out, besides like Grendel, most of them have been like really, really good. And people like might actually consider buying them. And like, I'm not saying Grendel's bad. He's not amazing though. I definitely have opened my eyes more to Grendel being better, but definitely not like my go-to. So that's going to be it for the video. There will be more videos this week. Expect like 2 to 3 more videos this week, including the Nightwave video on Sunday, as always. So take it easy, guys. Enjoy the update. Hopefully there's new stuff coming out. And also, TennoCon Digital event has been delayed to August 1st. So we'll see what happens there. Peace, guys.